Y'all hear that theme song? Y'all know what time it is. Welcome to episode 7 of Highly Opinionated. I'm your co-host Josh. That's Tim.
What's good?
What's up, brother? How you doing, man? Everything good with you?
No complaints, man. I'm good. How you?
I'm good, man. Same here, man. We all got problems. Ain't no reason to complain about them. Just put your head down and grind. Ain't that right, brother?
I agree.
Absolutely. Best producer in the game, Ross. What's up, my man? How you doing?
I'm good, man. How you doing, Josh?
I'm good, man. Again, can't complain. Good weekend of football. Ready to recap last week and get ready for this week coming up.
Man, we definitely got some football tonight, so I'm excited for that.
Absolutely. What's better than one game, two games? Nothing better than that. You get to pick and choose what you want, and more options to win. Gambling. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I wonder if that's gonna be a all year thing or if it's just the beginning of the year, but it's a discussion for later.
Absolutely, absolutely. We want to thank you guys for watching last week's show. Thank you guys for tuning in to this week's show. We appreciate all the love and all the support. Again, good criticism, bad criticism. The show is called Highly Opinionated. We want everybody to come on and speak on how they feel. Comment on what you see, whether it's on our YouTube page, Instagram page, uh, individual,
Twitter,
Instagram page, yeah, X page, Instagram,
Instagram, on YouTube.
YouTube. You can hit us up at our own personal Instagrams as well. So we love you guys, and uh, we have a great episode in store for you guys, and can't wait for you guys to watch.
For sure. And of course, on that note, talking on the social medias, make sure y'all do follow us on Instagram at highly opinionated underscore and on X at highly O underscore SS. And of
Absolutely.
course, subscribe to our YouTube, comment, like. We definitely gonna comment back. We're gonna react with y'all.
Absolutely. And again, like I said, people, you guys comment. We love the comments, but we want you to comment. We want you to come on the show. You have full 30 to 45 minutes as a guest. You rock out. We'll go back and forth. We'll have some fun. And we'll keep it fresh and fun for everybody. Thanks, Ross, for giving out our socials, man. You are the best, ladies and gentlemen, the best producer in the game. Tim, you ready, my brother? Get it popping and started?
Yes, sir. Let's get it.
Let's go. Let's go. So a recap of week 5 of college football. We picked 3 games last week, so let's recap those games and let's pick games for this week. Start with the recap. Notre Dame beat Louisville at home 31-24. It was a great game. Riley Leonard, shout out to Riley Leonard, shout out to Marcus Freeman, the head coach and the quarterback at Notre Dame. Notre Dame had to win this game. They lost at home to Northern Illinois. So they have to win. Anytime they play a ranked team here to finish out the season, they have to win the game.
Yeah, definitely. This game, Notre Dame, they played defense like at a high level this game. I think Louisville explosive offense. They limited them from start to finish. Most of this Louisville scoring was late in not late in the game, but late third, fourth quarter when they was trying to fight back. They didn't get the Notre Dame didn't get the run game going as well as I thought they would. But like you said, Riley Leonard had a clean game. He was 17 of 23, 163 yards and 2 touchdowns. Those numbers don't jump off the page, but it was clean, no turnovers, and did what he had to do to win. So I think we both picked Notre Dame, so we was 1-0 so far this week.
Yes, sir, we did. Yes. Most people look at Riley Leonard as a running quarterback, but he was able to had a little bit of success with his feet, not as much as he used to, but he was slinging that ball. And the Notre Dame, if they want to get to the next level, they're going to need that to get to the next level. You can't run on
Right.
everyone all the time. You're going to have to throw the ball to get to your ultimate destination. Our next recap, number 24, Penn State. Number 24, Illinois, number 7, Penn State. It was a defensive game for the most part. Penn State won the game at home in a semi-whiteout, 21-7. What was your thought process on this game?
Look, man, Illinois started off blazing, bro. They drove the ball right down the field, scored. I'm like, all right, they're going to give them what they wanted. Like, it was a close game. It was a defensive game. I just think the play that changed the game was before the half. Illinois was driving again. It was 7-7. Illinois drove, got some penalties, and then the kicker ended up missing a 44-yarder, if I'm not mistaken. It was somewhere in that 40-yard range. And
40-yard
I feel
range.
like,
Yes, sir.
yeah, I feel like the momentum shifted after that. Like, they still, like, 21 points isn't a lot in college. The offense just couldn't generate enough to score. Luke Altemeyer, who I praised last week, he didn't play bad, but he didn't play good either. It was just like a solid, you know what I'm saying, one of them regular solid games. So uh, once again, we both picked Penn State, so we got this game right as well. We thought it would be closer than the spread was, and Illinois covered the spread. So
No, they did. Luke Altmaier, he was 16 to 25, 185 yards and a touchdown. Penn State won this game on the ground. Allen and Kane. Allen had 18 attempts for 102 yards and a touchdown. So, like you said, it was 7-7 at halftime. Penn State scored 7 in the third, 7 in the fourth, and that's how they extended the lead to a 14-point lead. Illinois did cover the spread, like we said. We thought the point spread was too high, and I still thought it was too high for that game because Illinois is a good team. Are they the best team? No, but they're a good team in the Big Ten. So, but yeah, like you said, defensive game, and Penn State has a showdown with Ohio State coming up in the next couple of weeks, so we'll definitely be looking forward to that for Penn State. Oh, no, actually, before they have Ohio State, they played USC. I think they played USC in 2 weeks at the Coliseum. So that'll be a measuring stick for Penn State.
For sure.
The last game, and man, the best game of the day, maybe arguably the best game of the season. Alabama, get your roll on, people. They stayed at home and they defeated Georgia 41 to 34. And like I said, arguably the best game of the season. Alabama raced out to a 28-0 lead. Georgia showed the fight, the heart of a champion. Carson Beck was playing like trash. I kept getting a lot of bad text messages from him on his behalf. He was like, man, you said this guy was better than this guy and this guy and this guy. But nah, Carson Beck came out to show in the second half. It showed the heart, the fight, the determination that he needed to show to get the game back to being respectable. And also, Georgia actually took the lead in the fourth quarter. They took the lead in the fourth quarter from a pass from Carson Beck to Bell, the wide receiver Bell. And then Jalen Milroe came back and threw a bomb right down to the 17-year-old freshman, Mr. Williams. So that was a great game. I actually think that these two teams will see each other again. They might see each other 3 times. You never know. So, but best game of the week, best game of the season so far. Congratulations to the Alabama Crimson Tide on winning that game.
I got this game wrong. I took Georgia. I feel like Georgia defense was undisciplined to me. They were facing a mobile quarterback and they didn't set the edge at all. So like he was getting the corner. He was hitting the corner. The defensive end wasn't nowhere to be found. And I think that like led to the big lead. And then Georgia offense started slow. They had turnovers. But the game, they did fight back. So that I do respect that about Georgia and Carson Beck. They fought back. They didn't quit. They fought back. I think they missed the pass interference before he threw the interception. Man, that was a clear pass interference that they missed on that last drive. I feel like pass interference, man. You don't know from week to week. Pass interference changes, so like it's hard to coach because Kirby lost it after they didn't call it, and I would have too because it's just I don't know what they look for in pass interference anymore. Shout out to Alabama. It was a good game. I think Milroe increased his Heisman hype and is definitely right now he probably is the front runner just because who he has played against. So once again, shout out to Alabama.
Yeah, I think Jalen Milroe probably is the Heisman front runner. I don't think he's the best player in the country. I think the best player in the country is Travis Hunter. However, I think again, like you said, Travis Hunter is never going to play this type of competition. His best game might be Utah, Kansas State, BYU, somebody like that. And yeah, I'm not saying they don't compete to SEC teams, but the SEC most partly is a gauntlet every week. Georgia, Alabama, Ole Miss, Texas, Oklahoma, et cetera, et cetera. So, like you said, congratulations to Alabama. Great game, and I just hope we can see it again. That would be amazing if we could see this game again. So, week 6 of the college football season is fast approaching. Let's preview these 3 games. Let's start with number 9, Missouri, at number 25, Texas A&M. Who you like?
I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. I'm taking A&M just because they're at home, man. I don't have no other reason. I like Elko and the staff. I love them at Duke, and I like them over here. I'm just going with them because they're at home. I think it's going to be a physical, low-scoring game for the SEC standards, and A&M just finds a way to win the game.
I am going to agree with you. I like Texas A&M in part because they are at home. Missouri was off last week. They haven't played since September 21st. They beat Vanderbilt in 2 overtimes, 30-27 at home. Texas A&M played last weekend. They played the Arkansas shootout, so it's the Texas shootout, I guess. They play that every year in Jerry But I'm gonna take Texas A&M. I like what I saw from Texas A&M last week, and I just it's no disrespect to Missouri. They're the number 9 team. They're undefeated, but I just don't think they've really played anybody. They played Boston College. They won 27-20, 27-21. It was a good game. But other than that, I feel like this would be the best team that they played. And since the best team that they played has the home field advantage, I'm riding with the Aggies like you, my brother. Give me Texas A&M. By the way, that game is Saturday at 12 o'clock. The next game is Saturday at 12 o'clock as well. SMU at number 22, Louisville. Both teams SMU is coming off a win against Florida State. Louisville is coming off a loss at Notre Dame. Who you like, my brother?
So this game, I think SMU keeps it close with Louisville. SMU quarterback Kevin Jennings is a dual threat. I actually got to watch him last week because they played Florida State. So he's a dual threat that could throw the ball fairly well. And the running back, Brashard Smith, he has a big play waiting to happen. He averages 7 yards a carry and has 500 yards on 70 carries. So it looks like, man, he's just explosive. Like, he doesn't really have a whole lot of carries. 70 carries isn't a lot. And we on the week 6 already. And he's just explosive. So I like Louisville, but I think SMU gonna make this a real good game, man. I think this is probably one of the better games of the weekend for me.
Yeah, they got Louisville right now favored by 7. I would definitely take SMU to cover. I'm gonna take Louisville at home, but I definitely like what I saw from SMU against Florida State. Most people were watching the Georgia-Alabama game. That game came on at the same time, so
Right.
I would, when it breaks with the Bama-Georgia game, I would take a look at the SMU game. I like what I saw. SMU dominated Florida State. They beat them 42-16. It's never really close. So, and if you look now, SMU played BYU. BYU is one of the best teams in the Big 12. You saw them go on the road and destroy Baylor over the weekend. They're undefeated. So I think SMU is a good team, but I'm gonna take Louisville by a slight margin because they're home. I feel like once the season starts progression, that home field that matters. It matters. It's not gonna matter every game, but in some of these games that are this close and this close, it matters. Home field matters. Home field can take you over the top. So give me Tyler Shuck. Give me Isaiah Brown. Let me make sure his name is Isaiah. I'm sorry, Isaac Brown, the running back. Tyler Shuck, Isaac Brown. Give me Louisville at home. Last game we'll preview. Number 12, Ole Miss at South Carolina. Ole Miss got upset last week at home against Kentucky. I feel like Kentucky and South Carolina are kind of like the same kind of teams. Play good defense, shorten the game, special teams, stuff like that. However, I'm going to take Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss bounces back on the road against South Carolina. Give me the fighting Lane Kiffins on the road.
So this game, I like because it's kind of like a style clash. Like you said, Ole Miss, they like to air throw it around the field, and South Carolina like to kind of shorten the game, a little bit more physical. So for me, Lane Kiffin, I think they lose, man. I think they go on a 2-game losing streak, man. I like South Carolina. I think Sellers will do enough with his legs to keep him honest in the pass game, the quarterback. And I think Kyle Kennard and that defense in South Carolina, that defensive front line, special over there in South Carolina. So I think they'll get enough pressure on Jackson Dart. I like South Carolina, man. I didn't have Ole Miss making the playoffs because when we picked them early in the season predictions, just because defensively I don't see it. And not to say they defense bad, but I still don't see it enough where though they're going to win this game in South Carolina. So I like South Carolina for the upset.
Totally understand, totally get it. Like I said before, South Carolina, Kentucky, they mirror images of each other. And they play basically, like you said, fighting stash, fighting contrast, fighting styles. So we'll definitely see. You like South Carolina, I like Ole Miss. Can't wait to watch this game on Saturday. By the way, this game is Saturday, 3:30 on ESPN. We got you guys. We're going to take a quick break. You're watching Highly Opinionated. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Highly Opinionated. As you see, we got a special guest with us. a friend of mine, a classmate of mine from the great Calvert Hall College High School. We both graduated in 2011. So, ladies and gentlemen, we owe the shit. Be that as it may, this young man on the screen you see as a defensive back coach at our alumni at Calvert Hall. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the great Kevan Williams, the highly opinionated. What's up, man?
What's up, man? Thank y'all for having me. I appreciate y'all for having me. I really stay up to date on the show. Whenever y'all drop new episodes and stuff like that, I really look forward to watching the show, and I really appreciate and admire what y'all got going on and stuff like that. So far, some of the topics and stuff like that y'all talk about. So I would just want to, support y'all and let y'all know, man, keep up the good work.
Appreciate that, man.
Thank you. We obviously, me and you, our relationship goes back to high school. Ladies and gentlemen, quick side note, I used to ride to school with this brother. Great man, great young man, turned out to be a great man. Congratulations on the marriage and your family and everything. And also you're affecting the younger generation, bro, by being a defensive back coach for the young kids. They see that. So you not only can you walk the walk, you can talk the talk. You played the game. Mm-hmm. You played out there with Adrian and Quan and Pops and those guys. Mm-hmm. So you seen NFL talent. You know what NFL talent is. Yeah. Along with your brothers. Your brothers played before you went there. So I just want to say, we appreciate the kind words, bro, but we want to give you your flowers, brother. Mm-hmm. Great job at doing what you're doing, coaching at Calvert Hall. You're making us look good. We're 4-2 now. We just came up with a great win at Mount St. Joe, beat those guys 30-6. You guys, this next game isn't until October the 11th at McDonough. So as long as you guys win all them MIAA games, I'm good. That's how it was when we was there. We had to win all those games.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah. So I mean, like you said, like winning all the MIA games. We're 1-1 in the conference now. So we just looking to continue the work that we put in. From the off season that's translating over to the regular season and stuff like that. We've had some success, and as you said, we got a tough one coming up. So we got the bye week to kind of get ready for McDonough and stuff like that. So that'll be a tough challenge for us. A very good football team, well coached football team that has very, very good players. So it'll be a good measuring stick for us to see where we really are as a football team, and how well can we play in all three phases of the game. I'm very, very excited about this challenge to play against a really well coached program, a well ran program for many years in McDonough.
Absolutely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that game is October the 11th at McDonough. So you guys go out and support the Hall, go out and support McDonough. It should be a great football game. While you're coaching, a couple questions on you coaching. Mm-hmm. What was the hardest transition from you being a player to a coach? Because obviously you played the game. I know we went to high school together. What was the hardest transition from a player to a coach?
I would say the hardest, transition will probably be like trying to figure out, like, because when you go from a player to a coach, you're actually doing as a player, you know what I mean? Like, you're actually out there, doing the drills, in games and stuff like that. And like the hardest transition I would say is just like trying to understand, like, remember how fast the game is played. Like you can coach it, but when live bullets are flying at guys and stuff like that in games, is way different. And I've try to dial it back sometimes in myself and be like, hey, well, they gotta it's live. Like, they gotta try to, process information quickly when you got guys running at you at full speed, 100 miles per hour, because we play a contact sport. But I would say that would be one. And then also, being a coach, it's also being a teacher. How can I be able to teach this, to get my guys to understand, the task at hand? So like just trying to be a better teacher, going from from player to coach is just being a teacher. How can I teach it where as though these guys understand it, like where I can make it as plain as day? And I just feel like as I've gone through my coaching journey this far, third year coaching, first year at Calvert Hall. That's probably the biggest thing for me is just being a teacher of the game.
Got you. Tim, you got any questions or you?
Yeah. So I know you say y'all got Madonna coming off the bye. So like I coached at Owings Mills past 2 years. They didn't have time this year. So as a coach, how do you keep the kids prepared during the bye week? Because 10 when you don't have a game, you know what I'm saying? You normally
Right.
slack up a little. You know what I'm saying? We don't got a game this
Yeah.
weekend. I had practice. All right, I mean, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
how do you keep them motivated to practice this week since it's a bye week?
So like a couple things that I'll try to do, is some things that we need to work on. So I asked the guys like, hey, what drills you guys want to do? Like let's drill this, let's drill that. And then some things that I know as a coach that we don't do particularly well, that's a weakness of ours, that we'll continue to work at that. So kind of getting them to remember, to like always, after a win, I always say, well, hey, this is a good win, but we still got things we need to work on. So like I do Zoom with my guys, and I just point out things like, hey, we need to work on this, we need to do this, we need to do that. So getting them to focus on the details during the bye week. Like yeah, it's a bye, we're off. So trying to get them to compete, even in the bye week, not go crazy with guys that get hurt and stuff like that.
Uh,
So I feel like this week will be more so a mental thing, and trying to focus on some of those, areas where we're kind of weak at and trying to reinforce to get better at. So what I'll try to do this week is challenge these guys to, be like, hey, like we need to work more on technique, man coverage. We need to work, zone coverage, man turning, backside and cover three and stuff like that. And, getting in and out of our breaks efficiently, working top of the route stuff with the corners, working on safeties, driving on, digs, standing in the post and stuff like that. So it's a lot of different things. And like what I'll try to do this week is challenge them to, really let's work and, compete, even though we don't have a game this week to try to, get ready for next week.
understand.
Absolutely. My last question for you, as far as on the coaching tip, is obviously we both went to Calvert Hall. Who are some of your mentors? Whether they could have been coaches that you played for, could have been coaches that you played for in Pop One, or coaches that you played for at middle school level, high school level. Who are some of your mentors that got you in this position to thinking about coaching, and then actually made you pursue coaching?
I would say Donald Davis, Coach Davis being one, main reason why I got into coaching. My defensive coordinator in high school, Coach Hoshu, got me into coaching. Probably one of the main reasons why I'm so detailed how I am and the things that I do. Coach Byrne Southwick, who's been at Calvert Hall, so I want to say like for 30 years. He coached, both of my brothers. He coached me. Coach Corey Robinson, who was my DB coach in high school. And I want to say from rec, I reach all the way back to rec. I want to say Coach Kevin, who coached me in 10-12, and he also coached my brothers. So like, going back, looking at those coaches, the level of detail and the level of excellence that they have all had, that's one of the main reasons why I, coach today. And, I take pride in being called a coach, being a teacher, making sure, my guys know down to the details. As I mentioned, Coach Hoshu, going through everything with a fine tooth comb, like just making sure my guys are prepared. That's one of the biggest things for me. Swagger and confidence come from preparation. If you ain't prepared, you ain't no reason for you to even have that swag or that confidence if
Sure.
you ain't prepared.
Well, you sound like Coach Robinson every day. That's what you used to say to your defensive backs and their defensive backs. Oh, like, I remember Quan and Adrian and you. Like, man,
Yeah.
Coach Robinson, man, we got to do it this way and that way. And now
Right?
you
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
being a coach is everything.
He took no prisoners, man. He had us prepared. Like, I mean,
Absolutely.
it showed. You know, I mean, I played on the D3 level, but I mean, he sent many a guys to the Division I level, and you see Adrian and Trevor playing in the NFL and stuff like that. So I mean, it takes what it takes.
Shout out, and let me say this: shout out to Will Johnson. He's a defensive back coach now at North Dakota State. He was one of them. He was one of the. I call those, and I know they get that. I used to call them the Robinson disciples. They all used to be around him, and like he was there. Adrian used to quote him like he was the Bible. Like Adrian was like, okay, I can't do this. I got to do this. I got to do that. So. Shout out to Coach Robinson and shout out to Coach Davis. Coach Davis was a great guy. He was one of my mentors at Calvert Hall. Whenever I got in trouble, he was always there for me. Yeah. So shout out to Coach Davis, man. What a great guy. Go ahead, Tim.
Guys.
All right, so this the first part ain't really it's kind of a question. So y'all don't claim Courtney?
No.
Y'all don't claim
no,
because you want to done
Courtney, my guy too. I text Courtney, be like, no, he dumb ball.
So he don't. Because he done by all right.
He left. Look, he not part of the brotherhood. And that's for anybody that left. It ain't.
I got you.
Once you leave, you go where you go. That's the part of the family. He a dumb ball poet.
He a poet. Yep. I got you. Yep. And so as a defensive back coach, right? So what is 3 things you would tell your DBs? Like, what is 3 things they would have to do? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, say, for example, I coached DBs my first year at Owens Mills. One thing I say, you had to, if you wanted to play on any type of college level, you had to be able to tackle. Like, I'm not saying you got to be a big hitter. You just got to be able to tackle. So, like, what are 3 keys you would say to any DB out here listening? Like, what 3 things you think they must have in their game to be on the next level, college-wise?
I would say you have to be disciplined. And one thing you just mentioned, you got to be willing to tackle. Also, you got to be able to play the next play. Discipline, just comes from, knowing what you're supposed to do, being disciplined, doing your job, not worrying about somebody's other job description. As long as you do your job, everything else will flow together and everything, will go the way it's supposed to go. So that's just the main thing, being disciplined. If you're a man, you're man. If you got certain rules and coverages and stuff like that, play to those rules, be disciplined and stuff like that. Because if you're not disciplined in coverage, somebody could roam free if you're not communicating and stuff like that. So I tell my guys, be disciplined, do your job. That's whatever else, goes on. Don't worry about anything else. Long as you do your job. That's it. Like you mentioned, tackling is something that, I harp on a lot. Like that, like you gotta want to tackle. I mean, if offenses see you not want to tackle, they're gonna throw a screen out there. They're gonna run a running back screen and stuff like that to try to get the ball on the perimeter because they're gonna be like, oh, this guy's not trying to tackle, so we're gonna attack him and stuff like that. So you gotta be willing to tackle, especially with some of these teams that run the ball, like you see, like damn Michigan against USC. Like they act like they can't tackle no more. After that LSU game, we saw that all that good tackling. Now it's a thing of the past. And also, what was one other thing I said? I said the third thing. I think it was eye discipline. I think I said. So having good eye discipline. Oh no, being able to play the next play. I'm sorry. Being able to play the next play, like as a DB, you gonna give up plays. Let's be honest here. I mean, it's gonna be something that happens and stuff like that. And I tell my guys, I say, you got to be able to play the next play. Like they get a play, all right. So what? We gotta be able to, get the next play because you never know. We might catch a pick. We might be a tip. Tips and overthrows. We need those. Like it might be another opportunity for to make a play. So I tell them like we got to play the next play. Things are going to happen throughout 48 minutes of a game. Like I done been in a crazy game. When I played my senior year, Gilman versus Calvert Hall, like that was a crazy game. So like just being able to play the next play. So I just feel like that is something you need along with you need the attributes to play. Everybody wants to be Alabama, power P4 players and stuff like that. But
Right.
you got to have speed, agility, strength, all that good stuff. And
All that.
then also outside of that, like what are you willing to do to set yourself apart? Because everybody want to be Division I athletes. Because yeah, it's going to come a time where as though you're not the best player on your team. You're not, so you got to be willing to do some extra film, some extra,
Right.
it just takes what it takes it just takes what it takes if you want to play at that level.
Good
Absolutely.
answer. I like that answer.
Yeah, absolutely. I just listening to your answers. Obviously, me again being around you and being around those detail oriented coach. You're very detail oriented. Like details is everything to you. And if the details aren't right, you will sit a kid. Because if you ain't right, there's no point to have you out here if your details aren't right. And I respect that. I respect that from coaches, because at the end of the day, y'all job is to teach and lead. And if you can't teach and lead, then you gotta sit right here. You gotta sit right here beside me, or stand right here beside me, or whatever, until you are ready to, go out here and make a play. So I definitely respect that, and definitely can understand why you went into coaching. So that's good, man. I'm glad we all in life, we all look for our passion. You said something earlier about the show. Like, this is my passion. You've known me for years. Like, I've been talking about sports. From when we was at the table, we're not gonna call it what the table was.
Hey, Tim, used to be full-blown debates.
Full-blown.
I believe it. I believe it.
Kobe, LeBron, or you like Tom Brady, or you like Peyton Manning, or you like this guy, you like that guy. So my point is that and it had great guys at the table, from him to Daniel Yarborough, Adrian, Quan, Will, Breon, Ryan, Sean, I'm John, all these cats, like all
Damien,
these cats are good. Damian Lee, other Damian, remember Gucci?
Yeah.
So we had our times, man, and so I can see why, just looking at you from that point to this, I can see why you went into coaching, bro. Like I said, we all find our passion. We all have passion for stuff, and I'm just glad you found it, brother. So congratulations to you, and keep up the great work at Calvert Hall.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. While we have you here, not gonna let you go just that fast, man. NFL season's going on, and college season's going on, so we're gonna give you the floor, brother. Whatever you want to talk about, the floor is yours.
I mean, let's talk about them Saints, man. They let me down. Man. They let me down big time. That's my team. Okay. Like, and then when I saw Shaheed drop that punt, I said we ain't about to win this game, because like when you look at a game, you say all three phases of the game, and he let them score. We held them, made them punt the ball. He muffs it. I don't know what he was doing trying to catch it in the first place inside the 5.
At the 5-yard line, bro. What the hell are you doing?
I mean, that's just dumb football. I mean, y'all watch enough football. That's dumb football. Like, why would you just let it bounce? Even if it bounces inside the 5, okay, they touch it down. Let the offense try to work their way out from within inside the 5. But like, you see that, you like, okay, that's a touchdown. Their offense didn't have to score. You know what I mean? Then looking at, Derek Carr, the thing with Judon in his face. Sometimes he tried to sidearm, he tried to make a play, but I mean, just throw it at somebody's feet or something like that. Or try to lob it over if you can't see. Just get rid of it. But obviously, you see, he sticks that left hand out, poop, it go up in the air. Dude catches it, runs it back for a touchdown. Now that's 14 points. 14 points we done gave up where their offense ain't had to do nothing. At all. And then we made them kick, 4 field goals. That's 12 points. Now we take away those 14 points. They only scored 12 points offensively. We scored 24.
Exactly.
But we win that game. I mean, it's just that's simple things about football. Like, it's just like that's just bad football. I mean, they football play, they play on a professional level, so they don't need analysts and stuff like that telling them that, we beat ourselves. They ain't really beat us. The offense ain't do nothing. Defense did their job, but I mean, You know, you just can't have those mistakes. It's something you know that we coach. I mean that we preach as coaches. You cannot be shooting yourself in the foot. So my Saints is they 2-2, and I figured we was gonna have a wake up call sooner or later. I mean, but it's
Right.
just a lot of stuff is just preventable. No, I
Yeah,
mean, yeah.
my bad. My bad.
No, you go ahead.
The thing about the Saints is the 2 games that they lost, the Saints should be 4-0. And I don't say I hate the Saints. No, bro, they lost last week to the who they lose to the Eagles.
Eagles.
If they scored they scored with like 2 minutes left, all they had to do was get a stop. They couldn't get a stop. And then this week against the Falcons, they were up. They were up with like a minute left. And then they had that whack ass pass in the first on the sideline. And that ended the game. So, but you're right though. Most people when they look at football, they look at the last play of the game. No, the Saints didn't lose the game on the last play of the game. They lost that on 2 plays, like you said. When Derek Carr got the ball tipped up and it got an interception, it wasn't the fact that it was just an interception. It was an interception and a pick six. So that's like that's like 14 points right there because you took the ball and you scored. And then also Rashid Shaheed. I like him. He fast as I don't know what, fast as shit. Make the case the first 2 games, he was not y'all best offensive player, but y'all
best deep threat. He's the deep threat.
This guy, bro, why the fuck are you catching a punt in the 5-yard line? Let the ball bounce out of bounds. Y'all do that when they kick the ball off to you. You let it bounce in the end zone, let it bounce out of bounds. Why not do that for a punt? That's crazy.
Dumb football.
Yeah, I ain't gonna belabor it, but I just think so I know when we played, they used to tell us on punts, keep your heels at the 10. Anything over your head is over your head. So did that change or something? Did I miss something like that? And on this show, I said it's a lot of bad football being played, and like simple stuff like that is just bad football. Like, there's no other way to explain it. Like, that's like elementary. Like, heels at the 10 to go over your head is whatever happens.
Yep.
Yeah, well, your Saints, they
2-2.
Yeah, they right there.
Well, I mean, I think we could go to Kansas City and shock some people. I think we could shock them. I think because hopefully Rashid Rice is good, but it looking like all the reports I've been seeing he might be out for a little bit. So that's one weapon that they're without that'll really hurt them. And I think we can do some things against them defensively and stuff like that, and like probably can do something offensively. Hopefully we can block Chris Jones, but I mean we got a couple injuries up front.
The center Cesar Ruiz, he out.
Yeah, and then Eric McCoy is out for a little bit. So that's tough. And then we already entered the season with Ryan Ramczyk, a top tackle that's in the NFL. Like he looked like he had a career-ending, I think it was knee or ankle for him. So like it's just a mixed bag. We playing musical chairs on the O line. So hopefully we could figure it out and try to get Chris Jones blocked.
No, I was gonna say your Saints, man. Obviously, I like Tampa Bay. You know that Baker Mayfield, but
good win by them.
No, it was great win by him. The Saints. I told this to Tim, and Tim knows this. I was the team in the NFC South. I'm scared for. Maybe it's because the Brady effect. Like y'all kept beating us when we had Brady, so I look at y'all differently. And I know you look at Dennis Allen and Derek Carr as just another guy. I get that, but
Dennis Allen's pretty good. He all right. Okay. He grew on me. He grew on me.
Okay. Yeah. So, well, I know you not the
but Derek Carr, he is what he is. I mean, he ain't taking us, to the promised land. I mean, hopefully, but I mean, hopefully he has a Trent Dilfer type year, but we'll see.
Yeah. I see you ain't holding your breath on Derek Carr, so I got you. But I do love what they have, and that defense. I feel like the Saints defense hasn't been turned. Like you said, they gave up 12 points. Think about this. They gave up 15 points to the Eagles. They lost. They gave up, I know it was 26-24, but they really gave up 12 points because they kicked 2 field goals. So they gave up 12 points. And then against Carolina, they gave up 10. They're a bad team. And then Dallas, they gave up 19. So I said this to somebody yesterday. I think the best unit in the NFC South is the Saints defense. That's why I think they really got a chance to stay with Tampa Bay. Because I don't think Tampa's going to, like push the lead out something crazy.
Yeah. I mean, but they could, though. I mean, because, like, I always wait for something. Because the Saints, we kind of, like, unlucky. Like, it's just like that little simple cross pattern to Goddard against the Eagles game. We in man coverage in third line. I don't know why. But simple cross pattern. Defenders bumping into each other, fumbling, then he go down the sideline all the way down to the red zone, almost scoring. Then it's just always something. So they always find a way, to try to let the fan base down for the most part.
Gotcha. Well, again, I know you're a Saints fan, so we get that. But who are some teams that's playing now that are surprises team to you? Teams that you thought that would have been better than what they are, and teams that are better than what you thought they would be.
One team that I thought, would struggle a little bit that's doing well right now would be the Commanders. Man, they balling. I think Jaden Daniels is the real deal. I think he's playing real well right now. They figuring out how to utilize him. I think Cliff Kingsbury is be that as it may, he is what he is as a head coach, but as a play caller, I think he's impeccable. He's a awesome, football mind, and he gonna have them like putting up crazy numbers, like as y'all can see as it is right now. I think Dan Quinn put together a real good staff. He's a real good coach. So they're gonna be firing on all cylinders, man. They're gonna be real good.
Not to cut you off. The Commanders, right? I feel like everybody giving them a lot of love. But do we count what defenses they've been playing the last 2 weeks? I think, don't get me wrong, I think James Daniels can play. Like, I'm not one of them. I don't think he can't play. But like Arizona's kind of bad defensively. Not gonna lie to you. The Bengals defense kind of bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to see, like, can he do it versus better competition? That's all I would like to see.
Who would you want to see him play against?
Who they play this week? The Browns.
They play the Browns.
They play the Browns.
Yeah,
they play the Browns and they play the Ravens. So Ravens will be a real good time. Browns are good. Be a good
Browns
time.
defense good. Yeah. Browns defense good. Offensively, Stefanski. Yeah. I'll be able to get a real assessment. Not saying it's make a break, but I get to really see.
That's a fair assessment because again he has been playing against bad teams. Now I will say this: Baker Mayfield yesterday had a great game against the Eagles. Now when we look at that at the end of the season, we're gonna say like, damn, the Eagles had this and they had that, they had this and they had that. So my only point to that is what you're saying. I agree with you, but my only point is that you only can play who on your schedule.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So it's not like Jaden Daniels like, well, let me get the worst defense, the second worst defense, the
third
worst. Sure. He ain't going to a buffet. He just got to play who he can play. So
I just been saying people say he's the best quarterback in the NFC right now.
Oh, I saw Damian Williams.
A lot of people been saying that, so I'm just like, dang.
Damn.
Nah, I ain't ready to say it. Through 4 games there, but I ain't ready to say he
I'm like, okay, he hot, but Sam Donald, y'all got like he's playing better than Jalen Daniels as a whole.
Can Kev, I know you get on me about Baker, bro. He's not even playing better than Baker Mayfield beat him in week 1.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
how is he the best quarterback? Like, what the hell? I saw Damian Williams say that. Bro, what are you talking about? It's crazy.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot this week. So that's all I wanted to chime.
All right, but they play Cleveland. That's a tough game defensively, and then they play Baltimore, which I think they should move that to Sunday night because that game should be a prime time game where so everybody can watch, and that can be your full assessment on Jaden Daniels and how you think he is.
I definitely. Sure.
All right, so Kev, you said that Washington was your surprise team in a positive way. Name one team that's been surprised in a negative way that you thought would be better and they haven't lived up to their expectations yet.
I would say, I would have to say the Jaguars.
Oh yes.
Jaguars. I mean, like, being the success they had, not even last year because they missed the playoffs last year.
Tim, don't
But
worry.
the year before that, they were okay. But the Jaguars, I mean, I thought they was gonna be something.
Yeah.
They got whooped by the Bills, lost to the Browns. I think they winless.
Yeah, they are.
Yes.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
winless.
so
With that $250 man too, bro, they
yeah,
winless.
and you just paid Trevor Lawrence. So, I mean, they going through some things right now that I mean it's unspeakable. I mean, they
Oh
got to
no, it's
try to
speakable. It's
figure it
it's
out.
it's definitely speakable. You know, it's speakable, bro. It's speakable. There's some things that's going on down there in Jacksonville
Yeah.
that are definitely speakable.
Yeah,
Trevor Lawrence playing like ass. And I said this before on another show, and I'm saying it again. You playing like ass. You a $200 million quarterback, bro. Like, bro, let me say this. They have not won a game. They lost to the Dolphins 20-17. They lost to the Browns 18-13. They lost at Buffalo, bro. The game was so bad, Joe. You know how they had 2 games on last Monday night? No, they took that Buffalo shit off. You got to find they blacked out that game.
Right.
That shit was a blowout. And then they lost to the Texans, bro. The Jacksonville Jaguars last year was 8-3. My bad, Kev. I know this your team, but I'm sorry. I went on a rant, so I'm just gonna keep the rant going. Jacksonville was 8-3 last year. In first place, they lost to the Ravens. And ever since then, they ain't been the same. And Trevor Lawrence was so worried about C.J. Beathard that he did not let C.J. Beathard be the starting quarterback. He was so worried. I see why your bitch ass worried, because you're no good. You're no good. Trevor Lawrence is stealing money. People used to talk about Baker Mayfield. They used to talk about this guy, Derek Carr. I know Derek Carr, he ain't gonna be. Give me them players over Trevor Lawrence any day of the week. Because I know they got some heart. Baker Mayfield got heart. Trevor Lawrence ain't got no heart. Bro, this is my last thing. They was talking about Trevor Lawrence in college. People was talking about, we tanking for Trevor. Your ass gonna get fired fucking with his ass. You gonna get fired fucking with that guy. He ain't it, bro. I'm 0-4. I picked the years to win the division. Lord have mercy.
I just think he probably needs to pick up his play a little bit. You know, I think I haven't had the opportunity, really watch them play. But I just think that they just need to, just figure it out. I mean, probably have a call team meeting or something to try to figure out like how they dropping these games. Because I mean, the Dolphins came back to beat them.
The Browns and the Texans.
Yeah, so it kind of come down to finishing games more than anything.
Absolutely.
So it sounds like they have a problem with finishing. So I think they probably just need to work on finishing games, which is hard to do, especially in the league. Like when you're in the I just think it just come down to just them finishing games more than likely. So that's probably something that they probably got going on, talking about in their facilities, just finishing games.
No, you're right. And I don't want, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to make it seem like it's easy to play in the NFL. I've never played in the NFL. I've never played college football. So I'm not going to make it seem like it's easy to play in the NFL. However, Trevor Lawrence, you're a number 1 pick, and you have a Super Bowl winning head coach. Like, you should, some of this stuff, like, you knew how to close at Clemson. You knew how to close last year. You knew how to close a couple years ago when y'all made the playoffs with Dougie P. And y'all came back from beating the Chargers. We ain't got to go into that game. Whatever. Team should have, whatever. At the end of the day, you won that. So it's like, why can't you figure out how to close? And I just feel like, again, Trevor Lawrence is supposed to take that step. I was talking about Trevor Lawrence being a top 10 quarterback. He's not. You have to win to be a top 10 quarterback and take your team from average position sometimes to great position. That's the knock on Jalen Hurts to me. Like, Jalen Hurts is a good player, but he doesn't make his team great. He needs other players around him to be great. So for me, I just feel like Trevor Lawrence, it's a disappointment because the expectations for me were so high. Now, again, it's not easy to win in the NFL. It's not. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard to win on a high school level. Owens Mills coach Calvert Hall. It's hard. You feel me? You got players that you got to coach up and get ready. I understand that. But Trevor Lawrence, bro, to those who much is required, much is respected, much is required. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tim. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Tim.
Nah. Whatever topic you want to talk about, I don't have nothing to say about the Jag. Yeah, I don't have nothing to say about the Jaguars.
Obviously, I know it's only 5 weeks into the season. Right now, Kevin, if you had to give an early Super Bowl prediction matchup, what do you think it would be?
Being that they just went and they are who they are, and I really, when it comes down to the playoffs, They always find a way to win. I would have to say, representing the AFC, I would have to say the Chiefs, just because they top dog. I mean, the way this team looks this year, pretty much similar. Some of the same issues that they had offensively, because I don't, and they kind of like figured it out when it was in playoff time. They made that run to win it all. They just find a way to win in January when it means the most, and they just play so relaxed and so smooth without pressure and what they got going on the line. So I would say Chiefs to represent the AFC. NFC. Oh man, it's too early to tell. But if I had to say, representing the NFC. Why y'all give me this one? Why you give me that? Representing the NFC, I would probably go with the Lions.
Okay.
Probably say the Lions. Yeah, I would say the Lions. So Lions were literally this close. They had the 49ers on the ropes. And they just came within a couple plays away of making it to the Super Bowl. I just feel like probably like a couple coaching decisions. If Dan Campbell, he is who he is. Like they gonna do, they go for it and stuff like that. But and they just try to stay true to who he is and who they were as a team at the time. Probably if he could go back and probably make a couple changes, like to have them there in the Super Bowl, he would. And I just feel like this year, they tough as hell. Like I like them. Like they resemble their city, the Motor City, blue collar city. They tough as hell. Like, and he said like if they're gonna get somebody gonna win over them, they're gonna limp to a win. And I just feel like they're a very physical football team, and I just feel like they have everything in place to make another push at it. I just think they just have a chip on their shoulder from last year, and they have the pieces. They have the quarterback. They got the weapons around them. I think Jameson Williams will be somebody that'll surprise a lot of people because he's a playmaker. He's their deep threat. And he's a legit number two, and I think he could be a number one receiver one day based off his skill set. But yeah, I like the Chiefs and the Lions.
Go ahead, Tim.
I'm not mad. I'm definitely not mad at the Lions, especially at that point. The Chiefs, man, I just think they're figured out. Like they probably the worst 4-0 team I've seen. Like watching them, like it's no like I feel like I think I got the Saints beating them right this week, and all you have to do is look at the Chargers game plan. Just rush the passing lanes. You know what I'm saying? Just rush them. Don't converge in. You know what I'm saying? Just rush them. Just discipline rush lanes. And I feel like Patrick Mahomes, he throws a lot of interceptions. Like you know what I'm saying? They don't talk about it a lot because they're winning, but they really 2 pass interference calls away from being 2-2 like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't think they're what I think they. So last year, I think their defense was better than their offense. It's the same thing this year, but I think like that offense is like really like lacking this year, especially now that Rashid Rice towards ACL, and then there's Pacheco out. Then it's like, if I was them, I would go get some type of receiver. You know what I'm saying? Like something because like that formula not going to win it this year. Not 3 times in a row. So, but if you ask me who I like out the AFC, I couldn't even give you a better answer. So I'm not mad at you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm not mad at the answer. It's just I just don't see it 3 times in a row. If the Chargers I feel like if the Chargers get some type of offensive coordinator that know Herbert can throw the ball, I think they could be there because defensively, defensively they're there. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's like if y'all watched the game, I don't know if y'all watched the game yesterday. They went up 10-0, and then for some reason, it's just like they stick to like so they just kept running on first down, getting no yards. Mind you, Herbert got a bad ankle. You know what I'm saying? He got an ankle sprain, so you putting them in second and long, second and 12. You know what I'm saying? Now you got to throw. You know what I'm saying? It's like the situational football is just bad, yo. And I'm a I'm a football fan to the core, but like it's watching these games be like, yo, these coordinators can't be this bad. Like, are they trying to win these games or trying not to lose them? And then I heard the thing that Patrick Mahomes is undefeated when he's down exactly 10 points. He's 11-0.
Wow.
I heard it. I heard him say it yesterday. When he's exactly 10 points, he's 11-0. So it was like one of them things. Like, man, if they running this, I can see why he's 11-0. You know what I'm
Right.
He's trying to win the game.
You a Chargers fan?
I do like the Chargers. I'm an Eagles fan first. Right now, we got a lot of issues, man. Fangio, man, Fangio killing me with these defensive scheme. Like versus your team, the Saints. I think we had a great scheme. Five-man front, contain the outside zone. We had the pressure going because there's more than 4 men up there. And then we playing a little tighter coverage because he play a lot of too high, but we was playing a little tighter on y'all. He go to Tampa and just forget what we just did last week at work, and he goes back to too high, 4-man. They could have all day to throw. Like he dinked it down the field like he was Tom Brady. Like I was like, God dang, like I'm an Eagles fan first, so Fangio. Hopefully this game get better. I don't know, but I do like the Chargers because I like Herbert a lot. I like Derwin James. You know what I'm saying? Some players I like over there. So
got you.
Yeah.
I like them too. I think they're a good ball club. I think they're turning around. But I mean, also keep in mind, offensively, you said they running the ball a lot. Like, I mean, who are you gonna throw that joint to? I mean, they just got rid of.
I agree.
They just got rid of. They sent what's his name to Chicago. They let Mike Williams walk.
But
so,
I ain't gonna lie. That McConkey kid is good. Like he's a good route runner. He's good. And Quentin Johnson, I know he was sorry his first year, but he looked like he can actually catch the ball this year. And then he looked like he found his hands. And what's the boy? Palmer. Palmer's always a good little slot receiver. Like there ain't nothing crazy. Like sort of like with Josh Allen and the Bills, right?
Right.
They don't have a dominant receiver. But it's a lot of guys that, you know what I'm saying, we can
get
the
the
ball
job
to
done.
as though, you know what I'm saying, they just gonna get the job done. We just ain't gonna have no Pro Bowl receivers.
Sure, but in them crucial moments, you gonna need them dogs though. You
gonna need a guy.
You want them the dudes that get paid the top dollar to do what they do. You gonna need them.
I do.
In them pressure situation in the moments.
I agree.
That's why those guys get 25 and 30 million.
Yeah,
they know when the money on the run. Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, back in the day, DeAndre Hopkins. We coming to you. I don't give a damn. You got Tim on you, you got Kevin on you, you got your mother on you. We gonna throw you the ball, player.
Exactly.
You gotta get
exactly.
So that is definitely how I go. Get back to your prediction of it. Not prediction, but right now, if you're looking at it, the Lions, I picked them before the season started to go to the Super Bowl, so I'm with you on that. The Chiefs, I think you obviously know I don't have them three-peating. I just think the AFC is a little bit too tough. I just think in general, and there are teams now that are 1-2, 2-2 that we think, or 1-3 that we think will be better, whether it's the Bengals, the Ravens, et cetera, et cetera. So I think I like the Chiefs, but the Chiefs are getting what Tom Brady and the Patriots got. They're getting that bump. We've seen it so many times that they deserve. Until somebody knocks them off, they're always going to have that. Well, it's the Chiefs. You have to beat the Chiefs. You have to be this. You have to do that. So I think the Chiefs, obviously, I mean, it would be foolish for me not to say they're not a contender. Of course they're a contender. They have the best quarterback, in my opinion, in the league on their team. They have the best head coach, in my opinion, on the league and their team. And arguably, they have they have a top 5 defensive player on their team in Chris Jones. So if you have all that, I definitely think you're a contender. I just don't think that they're going to get to the Super Bowl because, like Tim said, the age of the attrition. Like, these guys starting to get hurt. And now they starting to get hurt on routine plays. You know what I'm saying? Like, simple stuff that usually no player will ever get hurt on, but they're getting hurt on that. Patrick Mahomes threw the interception. Let's just say this. Tim said nobody wants to talk about Patrick Mahomes throwing picks. I will. Patrick Mahomes' interception caused Rashid Rice to tear his ACL. Patrick Mahomes hit him in the knee. If he don't throw that interception, there's no need for Rashid Rice probably still playing. Or he's not in that position. I shouldn't say he's still playing. So, with that being said, I took the Jets before the season started. I didn't like what I saw Sunday at home against the Broncos, but fine, cool. I think the Jets will make a move to get a receiver, i.e. Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins, one of those guys. And then I feel like that'll take Aaron Rodgers to where he needs to go. Welcome back to Highly Opinionated. Tim, let's recap week 4 of the NFL season. Let's start with your beloved Philadelphia Eagles. They played my beloved Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It was an ass whooping. Tampa Bay won 33-16. Game really wasn't even that close. What was your thought process on the game?
I feel like Fangio, man. We 2-2, right? So I'm not gonna rant like a lot of Philly fans did this weekend. Fangio, I don't know what his defensive scheme is. So first, the Saints, I gave him praise because he went to a 5-man front, and he kind of prepped me. Like defenses need to dictate what the offense is going to do. Like I'm not going to let you do what you want to do, right? That's one thing Bill Belichick used to say all the time. Like I'm gonna take something away from them, so they got to do something else. Fangio doesn't dictate nothing. The Buccaneers had offensive linemen out. We not pressuring them. We just rushing full. We got the corners don't even be on my TV screen. Baker dinking and dunking down the field look like Tom Brady. Like I closed my eyes and I said, "Damn, we playing Tom Brady." But then I realized it was Baker Mayfield. So our scheme is trash. Like he is trash. We got Quinyon Mitchell is a good corner. They need to be pressing man more. Like his scheme is terrible for the talent we have. Like we supposed to attack. We should attack the Buccaneers front line. Like just attack them. Like I heard something. They said they worried about the secondary. So if you worried about the secondary, why not blitz? Make them throw it quicker. Ain't like nobody tackling on the team. Also, we had 11 missed tackles in the first quarter. Like I knew the game was over once Jalen Hurts got the ball. First play, we ran it. Two passes. I was like, yeah, this game over. I ain't had no faith after that because they just predictable. Like they just predict, and they a bad football team right now. They bad. Other than Saquon Barkley, they are bad. They are bad. Jalen Hurts, he got a turnover problem. He might not be the worth the money. To me, I never was sold, but he got a turnover problem. He fumble every time you need him. Like it was just bad. Like the Bucks, I'm not gonna say take away from they win, but I think we bad. So like I can't even say it's a good win because we just bad. Like we bad from schemes to play. Like we just bad, man. Like I know I got to get on the Ravens, but we are bad. Like this was bad football from start to finish. Like I don't think we challenged Baker. Like it was bad, man. Like I was sitting there. I heard Rex Ryan say this morning. He said, yeah, I could have played quarterback for Tampa. Eagles ain't do nothing. Like they just let him dink and dunk. Like he was throwing out routes to Mike Evans and all that. So it was bad. You can go, man. I'm gonna talk forever about that bad football team.
No, it's just. I mean, you're people get on me. They're like, man, he hates the Ravens. I'm like, nah, he just speaks on how he feels, and people are saying you letting it out about the Philadelphia Eagles. So it's always good to see. It's good to see that people now can see that you're objective. You just don't hate the Ravens. You feel this way about any team that you pick. Trust me, ladies and gentlemen. I've talked to this man about the Chargers. If the walls could talk, the Chargers wouldn't even be a fan of him. So he's objective about the teams that he like and don't like. I will say this though. You're focused on the Eagles. I'm gonna put the focus on the other team.
For sure.
The other team, which is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That loss against the Saints, that loss at home against the Broncos don't look so bad after all. By the way, I have Aaron Rodgers on line 1. I'm gonna answer that soon as we get finished. So, but that doesn't look so bad after all. So, I need Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is in a unique situation. I'm a Bucs fan. I like what I saw yesterday. Baker Mayfield, 30 of 47, 347 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was only sacked twice. QBR 74.9. Mike Evans, 8 catches, 94 yards, a touchdown. Chris Godwin, 6 catches, 64 yards. Cade Otton, 6 catches, 52 yards. But the most important thing Tampa Bay had, they got pressure. Levante David had 2 sacks. Anthony Nelson had a sack. Vita Vea had a sack. Logan Hall had a sack. And my man, the best name in football, Yaya Diaby had a sack. Tampa Bay, the defense needs to get better. They need to start improving the pass rush so they can get after the quarterback. And like you said, the offensive line, we were without our right tackle, Luke Gedeke. And Baker only got sacked twice. I think that was a prime focus for the team, get the ball out quick, fast, and in a hurry. And that's what Tampa Bay did. Luckily for your Philadelphia Eagles, they have a bye week this week, so they can start getting healthy bodies back. A.J. Brown didn't play. Devontae Smith didn't play. Lane Johnson didn't play. I think it was another offensive lineman, another offensive player that didn't play. So those guys can get help, so guys can rest up and get the help that they need so they can get their bodies back for coming back after the bye. As far as Tampa Bay, they got a big game Thursday night at Atlanta. I'll just say this. When you guys watch this show, we will not have a parlay out for Thursday. I am just going to say this. I did not bet on Tampa Bay this week. I will not make the same last week. I will not make the same mistake this week. I like Tampa Bay to beat the Falcons on Thursday night. You heard it here first. Great effort by Tampa Bay. Again, like I said, that terrible ass performance last week, they had to come out and show that they were serious about their action. So this game was a victory lap for me. It was your team versus my team, and my team won. However, this game, the Minnesota Vikings are now 4-0. And I know a guy that told me that Sam Darnold is going to win the comeback player of the year award. Still early, it's only 4 weeks. Sir, the floor is yours.
Yeah, so this score looks a little closer than what the game was. I will give the Packers credit. They did fight all the way to the end, so they made it, you know what I'm saying? They made it look respectable. Donald had a bad interception, and he got hit on the blind side on the fumble, so them turnovers helped the score look closer. But, man, look, man. That boy looking explosive. I know he had 3 touchdowns. I don't know the exact passing numbers, but it was real clean other than the interception. So, like, and then defensively, Brian Flores in that defense, man, it's hard to scheme against, man. Jordan Love, first of all, I think they rushed Jordan Love back. I would have played Malik Willis one more week.
Yeah, exactly.
Just, you know what I'm saying? First of all, y'all winning games, right? So I just want Packers fans to know y'all 2-0 with Willis, y'all 0-2 with Love. It just you know what I'm saying? One guy getting 200. Well, never mind. I don't even want to talk about that. But yeah, the Vikings, man, best team in football, man. Like best team in football. Like I don't even think it's close. Like I haven't seen a team week in week out. First of all, they get disrespected by Vegas every week with the lines. Packers was the favorite some kind of way. Doesn't make sense to me. I know they're at home, but still doesn't make sense. So the Vikings, man, shout out to them, man. And I made a mistake last year, and I said it was going to go 5-0. It wasn't really a mistake. They're going to go 5-0. They're going to beat them bad Jets as well. So yeah, shout out to Vikings.
Yeah, you did say that. That Jets Vikings game next week Sunday is more important to the Jets than the world can imagine. I want to give credit to the Vikings. They deserve it. Sam Darnold, 20 of 28, 275 yards, 3 touchdowns. He had a pick. But, I mean, that's going to happen. Aaron Jones, 22 carries, 93 yards. He also had 4 catches for 46 yards. I don't think the Vikings are the best team in the league. I mean, I think they're up there in the conversation for that. But I'm not trying to disrespect Sam Darnold. He's a good player. He's in a good situation. I'm happy for him. Brian Flores. If Brian Flores does not get another job as a head coach, you're stupid as an NFL.
Eagles.
You're stupid because Brian Flores, what he's done with this defense, they signed Stephon Gilmore late in the season. They signed him late in the preseason. This defense with Blake Cashman, Cameron Bynum, Byron Murphy, Harrison Phillips, Jonathan Gannard, Harrison Smith, Andrew Van Ginkel, Shaquille Griffin, Jerry Tillery, used to play for the Eagles, Gruger Hill, Kamayu, hopefully I'm saying his name right, Gruger Hill. These guys are, I don't say misfits, but they're guys that have been cast off in other places. Brian Flores has this defense. What I will say, they're playing like the best defense in the NFL. I thought it was Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh had a rough day against Indianapolis in the backup quarterback. So I think currently right now the best defense in the league is Minnesota. Jordan Love had 3 interceptions. He had 3 picks. He had 4 touchdowns, but he had 3 picks. That's why the Vikings won. He turned the ball over. And the pressure that Brian Flores allowed with that defensive line with Gannard and Phillips and et cetera, those guys get that pressure. The Vikings, man, Emmanuel Acho did it on his show, the facility today. I saw him. He said this defense should be illegal. They attacking, they hitting. You know this, Tim. See ball, hit ball, get ball. That's how the Vikings are playing defense. So I do not think they're the best team. And obviously you gave it away, so I'll give it away. I do not think they'll be 5-0. But that does not mean that they're not a good team. That does not mean that at all. To me, they should be the favorite in that division. And I picked Detroit to go to the Super Bowl. The Vikings should be the favorite right now in that division. What are your any more observations, week 4 takeaways you got?
Man, look, man. Greg Roman Reigns, anything with the last name Roman, don't need to be in the league running offensive systems, man.
Oh, my.
The Chargers gave away the game to Kansas City yesterday. If you watch the game, it's no way like just get a new offensive coordinator. He not it. Another guy that got to go. It's time to fire Stefanski. Deshaun actually played well enough yesterday. They had 2 touchdowns called back. Like he was actually throwing the ball well. Fire Stefanski. He don't know what he's doing. Amari Cooper can't catch a pass. Stuff bouncing off his chest in the defender's hands. Fire Stefanski. It's time. I said it just a few minutes ago. Vikings are clearly the best team in the NFL. If you watch all 4 weeks, like I don't see any team better on both sides of the ball. Like Vikings clearly the best team in football. And I'm gonna steal a quote from my man, Coach JB. Mediocrity is the new excellence. NFL as a whole, man, it's a bad product, man. These games not even really exciting to me no more. Like they don't like I feel like the competition level isn't the same no more. Like the defensive schemes, like I don't think they scheme for who they playing against. Like I think they just say, I'm a cover 2 team, we playing them. So that's my base defense. That they not scheming for like I feel like they only scheme for who they play in the playoffs because this is bad football. The roughing the passer penalties are trash. The pass interference every other you don't know depending on what ref you guys trash. Quarterbacks can't read defense. I haven't seen a quarterback worth 200 million yet. I haven't seen one worth half of 200 million yet. Pat Mahomes, I've been telling y'all he regular. He pretty regular if you keep him in the pocket like Ed Reed said. Chargers just rushed. All Chargers did versus Mahomes was rush the pass lanes. Everybody stayed in their pass lanes, kept it in the pocket. He gonna throw you the ball at least 3 times. Like the quarterback play is a joke, man. Like this NFL watered down, man. Like you used to base your Sundays around the NFL, man. I'd rather take a nap most Sundays, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Take a nap. Okay.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. This man, quarterbacks.
Old man, get off my lawn.
The quarterbacks in our generation is way better than all these quarterbacks. I don't care what they tell you. Drew Brees, Manning, Phillip Rivers. That was the generation of quarterbacks. This generation is of athletic quarterbacks. Like they don't rely on IQ and skills, bro. They just running around throwing the ball up.
We can have that debate. Not now, but we eventually had that debate.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
We can definitely do that. Because it's a couple guys that's playing now. I do think they could be successful back in the day.
Yeah, it's a couple, about 3.
A couple of them. I think they could be. Some of them I don't think, but some of them I do think that they could be successful throughout playing throughout their time. My observations, the Atlanta Falcons, they just find a way to win. I feel like they've stolen 2 games this year that they were not supposed to win on the road at Philly, and then Sunday at home against the Saints. I felt like they should have lost that game, but the Falcons, they find a way to win. So much credit to them, and they are definitely in the hunt in the NFC South. Obviously, it's a 3-team race: Saints, Bucks, Falcons. But I thought it would take the Falcons a little bit of time to get their stuff together. But again, you know this: the main objective is to win. If you find a way to win, you got it. My next observation kind of goes back to what you said earlier. Jalen Hurts is a turnover machine, and nobody wants to say that. He's a turnover machine. Now, I'm not trying to go back and forth with you because it was your list, and your list is having your list. That's why I never thought Jalen Hurts was better than Lamar Jackson. Never. Lamar Jackson could never turn the ball over this much and lose. If Lamar Jackson had one bad game, people would call him for his head. Jalen Hurts is a turnover machine, and Jalen Hurts has better weapons than what Lamar Jackson has. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. I think Devontae Smith is better than Zay Flowers. That's my opinion. Maybe people might think otherwise. I think Devontae Smith is better than him. And obviously, A.J. Brown's a top 5, top 7 wide receiver. Dallas got it, even though he dropped the pass yesterday. Regardless, he still has good play. Jalen Hurts has a turnover problem. The Eagles have a coaching problem and a quarterback problem. And I don't know how you can get out of that. My next observation. Hail to the motherfucking Commanders. You guys got a quarterback. Jaden Daniels. I thought next year the Commanders will win that division. They might win it this year. Now I get it. Things might be upside down. What's up is down. What's down was up. But he's playing the quarterback. Jaden Daniels is playing the best of anybody in that division at the quarterback position. He's playing better than Daniel Jones, that in my opinion, and Jalen Hurts in my opinion. The Washington Commanders, Dan Quinn, head coach, Cliff Kingsbury, offensive coordinator, those guys deserve credit. No one in their right mind thought the Commanders would be 3-1. No one. Shout out to your uncle. You know what I'm talking about. Shout out to your Uncle Lee Ice, my man. I know you're a Commanders fan. I know you watching. This is for you, man. Y'all finally got a quarterback. I'm happy for you. My last observation. The Baltimore Ravens, they did what they had to do at Jacksonville. I'm sorry. The Baltimore Ravens did what they had to do at home against the Buffalo Bills. They dominated Buffalo from start to finish, from the first play handing the ball off to Derrick Henry to the last play of the game. I was never worried about the Ravens being 0-2. Never was. I just think some organizations, they get down 0-2. That makes them more emboldened and makes them more who they are. If the Browns are 0-2, I'm concerned. The Ravens, the Chiefs, certain other teams, I'm not concerned. They got that DNA. They got that toughness, that grit, that grind, that DNA. Baltimore Ravens are back where I thought they would be, in contention for the AFC. I don't necessarily think they're going to win the AFC, but I didn't think they were 0-2, and I didn't think they were the worst team in the league as well. Ladies and gentlemen, you watching Highly Opinionated. Take a quick break. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Week 5 of the NFL season, Tim. You know it, brother. The football season goes by. We wait for it all summer, and then it just goes by so fast. We're already at week 5 of the NFL season. We're at week 6 of the college football season. So week 5. Let's start with, I think, the marquee game of the week. My Super Bowl prediction out of the AFC, the New York Jets, at your comeback player of the year award winner, and Sam Darnold and the Minnesota Vikings. This game is actually in London, Sunday, 9:30, NFL Network. You guys, make sure you tune in and watch. I'll start us off. I am taking the Jets. The Jets have to win this game. They're 2-2. I feel like the Jets have offensive struggles. They're stagnant offensively. I feel like, and part of that is because they really don't. I feel like they need another weapon. So I think down the line they'll go get another weapon. But currently, in what they have, I think they should run the ball more with Brandon Allen along with Breece Hall. Have that two running back tandem, 2 running back system, and offensive line gonna have to block well. Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to get hit. Y'all know that. So y'all gonna have to grit, grind, block people out, and do what y'all need to do. Give me the Jets in London.
So for this game, I think the Jets offensively are limited. And Rodgers' best days, man, I know they hate to say it, they behind him, man. He was limping at the end of that game versus Broncos. Broncos actually should have won it a little earlier. They missed a fumble on Rodgers, but Denver ain't had no timeouts. He fumbled. But for the Jets, Breece Hall needs to have a big game for them to win. And I don't see that happening, man. I like the Vikings, man. I think Flores and them will get the Rodgers because he can't move. He just can't move no more. And one of his best assets as a quarterback was extending plays. So I like the Vikings, man. I think they win by at least a touchdown, man. Give me the Vikings.
We will definitely see it. I think this is the biggest. I think arguably this is the biggest game of the week because the Jet season could go from here to here.
For sure. I agree.
And like you said, Aaron doesn't want to move, but they're gonna have to protect him to make sure that he can do what he needs to do to be successful. I like the Jets. You like the Vikings, man. Can't wait to Sunday and find out. The next game that we had, Bills at Texas. This is the Stephon Diggs revenge game. Josh Allen versus Stephon Diggs. Who you like?
So they're gonna talk about that all week. They're gonna talk about Stephon Diggs and Josh Allen relationship. They just gonna drag this on a long week, right? So I wouldn't even watch none of them shows. Just come click here because I'm not gonna talk about that. I'm gonna tell you what's really gonna be the key to the game. Joe Mixon is out, so the offense doesn't look the same with the Texans because they don't have a running game. Like I like Cam Akers, he's just not as explosive as Joe Mixon. And the way the Bills just got romped on last night, Bills gonna win this game. This is how this works. You know what I'm saying? They didn't show up. They didn't show up to Baltimore last night. Like that game. Like once we start breaking down film, I can show you why some of this is why I think football is bad. Like Lamar and what I tell y'all Ravens fans, Lamar's best when what? He's throwing the ball 25 times or less. Every time y'all win, the running game has to be good. But yeah, I'm a hater though. I'm a hater. You know what I'm saying? But look at his numbers when they win. Look at them when they lose.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I
give me the Bills.
got the Bills. Okay. I'm actually agreeing with you. I'll take it a step further. I don't know any quarterback that wouldn't be good throwing the ball 20, 25 times. Tom Brady would be literally the best ever throwing the ball at 20, 25 times. That's no slight. People try to take stuff and run with it. You can take it as a slight. Any quarterback in their right mind will want to throw the ball 20, 25 times. That means you're running the ball, you're being effective on first and second down, and you're doing what you need to be doing. As far as the Bills and the Texans, I was going to take the Texans. But listening to you, you convinced me to take the Bills. And the reason why I'm gonna take Buffalo is this: they got blown out. If they're a championship, if they are who we think they are, which they are a championship contender, they want to show that we're not as bad as we showed Sunday night at Baltimore. Right. So this is the next opportunity to show, kind of like what Tampa Bay did at home against Denver. Then they came back the following week against Philadelphia and destroyed it. Now I don't think Buffalo's going to destroy Houston.
Yeah, I don't think.
However, I do think Buffalo will come out and play. I like James Cook. I like Shakur. Dalton Kincaid and Josh Allen improved. Like, bro, I'm still one of the 2-3 best quarterbacks in the league. Let me show you what I got. So we both like the Bills. And the last game that we'll preview, it's just history. It's just the glitz and the glamour. You got the metallic blue. You got the black and gold. The Dallas Cowboys at the Pittsburgh Steelers Sunday night NBC. Chris Collinsworth, Mike Tirico, Melissa Stark on the call. Who you like?
So the Cowboys, if I'm not mistaken, Michael Parsons has a high ankle sprain. Dexter Lawrence is already ruled out. So how are they gonna get pressure?
They couldn't get pressure with those guys. So.
I was about to say that they wasn't really getting much pressure with them. So without them, I'm definitely going Steelers. And I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Steelers look like he got a rebirth in Pittsburgh. They started off a little rocky yesterday versus the Colts. It was more to George Pickens, boy, ball security is terrible. He fumbled at the 3 because he got the ball like this.
Yeah,
like
got the ball
versus little kids.
He playing basketball.
And Fields fumbled once, but Fields getting better each week, man. Pittsburgh is dangerous, man. Like I ain't gonna lie, the defense ain't played well last week.
Yeah, but that's a knock. That's a knock. Yeah, that's a knockoff. You're gonna have games like that where the defense don't play.
I was about to say that in professional sports.
Exactly.
Sometimes it just ain't your day.
It just ain't.
That's what I just chalk it up to that. But I like the Steelers, man. I think the Steelers convincingly beat the Cowboys.
I'm gonna use your analogy. The Cowboys are a wet dream. You think about it and it's good, but then when you wake up, it's like, damn, what is this? Like, that's not really what happened. That's not reality. Right. I'll take it a step further. I like Mike McCarthy. I just think he's in a terrible situation. Now he does have coaching blunders. My good friend of mine, Jeff, will gladly point those out. Shout out to you, Jeff. But I like Mike McCarthy. I just think he's in a terrible situation. When you coach in Dallas, you're not really coaching the team. Jerry is everything. You're just fitting in under Jerry's umbrella. Like you said, the Cowboys can't get no pressure. Can't get no pressure with the best defensive guys that they had. So it's kind of hard for me to think that they will get pressure without them. I'm agreeing with you on this one. I think we're locked and key for these games this week. Give me other than the Jets and the Vikings, give me the Steelers. Yeah. I think the Steelers defense will come back to play because they felt like they got embarrassed last week at Indianapolis. Give me the Steelers. TJ Watt, I expect Highsmith to play this week. Minka Fitzpatrick, my boy Joey Porter Jr. Give me the Steelers. Some good games this week, man. Can't wait to watch. Football is like we said before. Football, we wait all summer for it, and then before you know it, it's already week 5, week 6, and then before you know it, the season will be over. So you guys make sure you watch these games this week. Great football coming, college and the pro level. We want to thank you guys for watching Highly Opinionated. You guys are the best. For the best producer in the game, Ross. For the best co-host in the game, Tim. I'm merely Josh. We out. See y'all next week.
Appreciate
I
y'all.
do want to not to interrupt that, but I do want to just make an announcement that due to just timing purposes, we're not gonna be having a video for Build Your Parlay, but we are still gonna have our parlays every Friday on our Instagram at highly opinionated __. So just make sure y'all tune into our Instagram so you can, I want to say keep on winning money, but start winning some money.
Yeah, start winning some money. We had a rough week this week. So our picks will be out every Thursday.
Every Friday.
Every Friday.
If we can do every Thursday.
Every Thursday. Okay. Our picks will be out every Thursday.
Thursday evening, we'll have them out.
They'll be out. Check the Instagram page, like Ross said. We'll also probably have them out on our own individual pages as well. Check out our Twitter page. So we want to make sure you guys can get some money. Hell, we want to see if we can get some money. How about that? So,
For sure.
All right.
So again, for the best producer in the game, Ross. For the best co-host in the game, Tim. I'm merely Josh. We out. See y'all next week.
Appreciate y'all.